welcome back to my channel. My name is Jodie and I help you change your beliefs so you can change your body, your health, and your life. This video, I want to give you 3 things you need to think about in order to lose fat successfully in 2025. So if you have been trying for a while to lose body fat, year after year, you set these resolutions to finally transform your body, and year after year, you are back in the same position, or maybe you get to a worse position. These are some things I would focus on to help you be successful this year. First of all, you need to know your starting position. And this is something a lot of people don't even think about because you focus on the end goal only without considering where you're starting from. And that means you often take the wrong approach because you're choosing a plan set up for the end result rather than your starting point. And to get to the end result, you need to start from where you're at. So choosing a plan that is appropriate for someone else that is in a different position to you, maybe they're here and you're back here, this plan is not going to work for you because you're missing out on this part of the process. Now, some of this can be mindset related and you need to work on your mindset to get yourself here so then you can get to this outcome that you want. Or it could be process related in terms of what you're doing for your nutrition and your exercise. Now, a good example here is if you are starting as someone who is used to restricting calories, eating as little as possible, eating clean, eating healthy, trying to always lose weight, you are probably not in the best position to actually go into a deficit to lose weight. And what you might be better doing is actually focusing on body recomposition for a while, eating at maintenance calories, or building your calories up to a higher level, focusing on fat loss and muscle gain, which most of you have potential to do. You can lose fat and build muscle at the same time, even if your weight doesn't change. And what that is going to do, that is going to get you into a better position to then get to that end result of weight loss, if that is the outcome that you're desiring. Another example is if you are in that skinny fat category, you think you need to lose weight, and so you've been trying for years to lose weight and getting nowhere. That's when also I would recommend body recomposition. If you have questions on body recomposition, then I would recommend looking at other videos on my channel. I talk a lot about it. Anything titled skinny fat or body recomp, that will help you. So knowing your starting position is crucial to make sure that you actually choose the plan that is going to set you up for success and work for you. Your dieting history also has a really big impact on what is right for you, especially in terms of nutrition. So make sure you don't skip that step. Now, the second tip I have for you is kind of related to this, and that is to make sure you know the difference between weight loss and fat loss, because a lot of you want weight loss and maybe you do need to lose weight, but what you have to understand is at the start of a proper weight loss / fat loss journey, the scale might not change. And that does not mean you are not making progress, and it doesn't mean that you need to change things. And what happens with a lot of you is you freak out, you go and change things, you lose motivation because it seems like nothing is happening, when really you just have to be more patient. You have to keep trusting the process, and you have to recognize that fat loss can be happening even if the scale isn't changing. You have to know how to measure your progress properly. You have to know how to assess your biofeedback, because this is going to tell you whether the process is working, and all you need to do is stay consistent and keep trusting that process. If you have trouble with this, I have a program. It's a do-it-yourself program on my website. I put the link in the description box. And that is not only going to help you know what to do in terms of working out, how much to eat, but it's also going to teach you how to measure your progress properly and how to know whether you need to make adjustments, and then what type of adjustments you need to make. So check that out if you need help with this, or otherwise you can apply for one-to-one coaching. I put the link to apply for that in the description box as well. Now, the last tip I have to successfully lose fat in 2025 is to make sure your calorie target is set up properly. Because using MyFitnessPal, using some random number from the internet, or just guessing, that is going to set you up for failure, not success. Now, most of you are either going to start at maintenance or in a deficit, And I know a lot of you are going to choose a deficit to start with because you think that's what you need, even though majority of you can make really good progress at the start at maintenance, and that's probably what I would recommend first, and then jump into a deficit later. But if you want to start with a deficit, this is where choosing your calorie target becomes the most important. If you choose a deficit that is not big enough, you're not going to be making the progress that you think you should be making, and so you're going to lose motivation, give up too soon. If you choose a deficit that's too big, you're also going to give up too soon because you're not going to be able to stick to it for long enough. You're going to end up in some kind of binge restrict cycle, or you're going to just give up because it's too hard. And a big calorie deficit is really, really hard to stick to. Your body is going to try and fight you, and you need to work against your body to be able to stick to it and make progress in that. Now, I was able to do that in my mini cut late last year. That was a really big deficit that I wouldn't recommend for most people, but I have done this for years now. I have extremely good discipline, and I have no problems with missing out on going out for dinners or missing out on food in general, because my relationship with food is really good and I know it's available in a month's time once I make the progress that I need. But I know a lot of you think, oh, I can just stick to this for like a month easy, but then you feel like you're missing out when you can't go out for dinner, or you feel like you should be able to do both. And if you choose an extreme deficit, then really you can't do both. I would recommend instead you choose a method that allows you to still enjoy your life whilst making a bit slower progress, because that is going to be progress that you can keep, and you're going to learn a lot more throughout the process that way as well, which again helps you keep your results long term. Another thing just to add to that, a deficit that is too big will not work for most of you, because most of you are not in a position to be in a really big deficit because you've spent your life dieting. And so that is why, again, coming back to knowing your starting position, I'm in a very different starting position to go into a deficit than what most people are, because I've done the opposite. I've spent majority of the past few years building my calories up, eating at maintenance or in a surplus. So I can go into a big deficit and get a good result, and the big deficit is actually still a decent amount of food. Whereas that doesn't apply to you if you have been dieting for most of your life, or if you're always trying to be in a deficit. So I would encourage you to do things a little bit differently this year. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or put a comment below. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please like it. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And if that's the case, I will see you in the next video.